plots. This year, we'll be carrying WMS seed, the Alabama blend, the SEC blend, and Deer Magnet, Southern Buck, Super Buck, 8-way blend, our Buck Busters mixes, and our 3-way wheat, oats, and rye. We'll also have all the individual seeds, planting wheat, planting oats, clovers, anything you need to plant those big plots.
All here at the Farmers Co-op store. Everybody's welcome at the co-op.
It's a big world out there, fast-paced and full of challenges. The last thing you need when you have a vehicle accident is more hassle on top of hassle. Wouldn't it be great if you could just go sit down and talk to Mom and Pop? Well, you can. Mom and Pop are alive and well at Auto Beauty Body Shop in Selma. Aaron and Cindy Grimes have owned and operated Auto Beauty Shop for a good while now. It makes Cindy a caring family approach to their customers. Certainly they have the latest multi-tech equipment and highly trained technicians, and they have an excellent relationship with all the insurance providers. But they have something no other body shop has. They have Aaron and Cindy, the mom and pop of vehicle body repair. A simple approach to discussing the damage, the estimate, and the factory quality repairs. Please drive safe, but if you have an accident, ask your tow truck driver to take your vehicle to Mom and Pop Auto Beauty Body Shop, 2001 Highway 14 East, phone 334-872-2248. There are currently no delays. They can get you in today and start your repairs right away.
1490 WHBB. Good morning on this Thursday morning, December the 4th, 2025. And today, by the way, is Selma's birthday. According to Wikipedia, I'm going to go with that December 4th date. For some reason, earlier in the week, December the 2nd keeps sticking in my brain. And I don't know why. Maybe I think I know why, but that's another story. But Wikipedia has given the incorporating date for Selma as December 4th, 1820. And so Selma's been around a long time, huh? Happy birthday, Selma. You know, the name Selma means high seat or a throne. And a lot of people, of course, believe that Selma has spiritual significance. One thing for sure, it has been a part of American history for a very long time. Almost the opposite roles, if you will. Actually, Selma was the second only to Richmond, Virginia, foundry for the Confederacy. And so, and actually before the last battle, the Battle of Selma with Nathan Bedford Forrest, there had been other attempts by the Union to come into Alabama and into Selma that did not succeed. Even Sherman, you know, you hear about General Sherman that made the march to the sea, you know, through it and burned Atlanta down and all the way to Savannah, but he was not able to get through to Selma before his march to the sea. And they were trying, of course, to get to Selma because Selma was manufacturing weapons and uniforms and ships. We had a shipbuilding facility, foundry here. And then, of course, 100 years later, in 1965, Bloody Sunday, resulting in the Voting Rights Act being signed into law, the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And by the way, there were no black senators in 1965. And actually, Republicans passed the Voting Rights Act of 1965. That's just a little note in history that gets overlooked often. And so I think we'll start with, we'll start with Congresswoman Terry Sewell. That's where I left off at. On yesterday, they had held a press conference. The new Democratic coalition. This is a coalition of really moderate Democrats that are attempting to work across the aisle. And they announced their health care plan. And I'm going to play maybe half of the press conference, or most of it, because we don't have to get in all the various question answer period. But I do want you to get a feel and a gist of what is happening, because as I've said before, and I think anyone, well, I won't say anyone, no. This healthcare issue is complicated because it's big money. I mean, huge, a lot of money involved between the insurance companies, the pharmaceutical companies, the physicians, and the hospitals. And all of these institutions and organizations and people have to spend a lot of money. And so everything costs. And so whenever you have that kind of a dynamic, being able to sit down at the table to negotiate is necessary. And so it looks like, at least I'm glad to see that this new Democratic coalition is setting the tone and setting a tone that says they're willing to work across the aisle and sit down and talk. But maybe I'm being a little too optimistic or hopeful that they'll be able to succeed. I think they will. I think it's going to be all right. I think it's going to be okay. And hopefully they'll be able to get this thing done by, I think January 30th is the next deadline. I'm glad to see that they are putting forth a plan. You know, that's the beginning. You know, just to be able to get started with a plan is really, really important. Okay, I'm going to share the screen. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see and hear at the same time. This is the press conference held on yesterday in Washington, D.C. And again, Congresswoman Terry Sewell is chairing the work group. That's who's doing the work. Let's see what they got to say.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks to everyone for joining us on a lovely fall day. I'm Brad Schneider. I represent the 10th District of Illinois, and for today, something I'm very proud of, I have the privilege of chairing the New Democrat Coalition for the 119th Congress. We're here today. As we stand here today, New Dems represent the largest ideological caucus in Congress with 115 members. We were 116, but Governor-elect Mikey Sherrill has stepped away, so we're looking forward to filling that seat. New Dems represent the middle majority of Americans. These are the folks who are tired of the gridlock, tired of the extremism in Congress that prevents us from addressing the important issues they're facing every day in their lives as they're trying to just go from day to day. As we all know, healthcare is top of mind for these individuals. And for our constituents, we know that, and as their representatives, that's what we're working on. Hardworking Americans are preparing to pay, on average, 114% increase in health premiums. Think about this. They are seeing their premiums double and even triple. Many Americans are going to lose their coverage altogether, all because of the backwards and extreme efforts of this Trump administration and congressional Republicans. That's why I'm so happy to be joined on stage today by some of the brightest minds in our coalition to announce the release of the New Dem Health Care Action Plan. These lawmakers have worked tirelessly to craft a common sense, pragmatic, and forward-looking agenda that will guide the New Dems' work to lower costs, expand access, and improve quality of care for every American and their family. I want to thank the Healthcare Working Group Chair, Congresswoman Terry Sewell, as well as our task force chairs, Dr. Kelly Morrison, Chantel Brown, Julie Johnson, and Madeline Dean for their vision and their leadership. I also want to recognize the 5 New Dem doctors who are essential to our efforts on this issue. Alongside Dr. Morrison, we have Dr. Ami Bera, Dr. Raul Ruiz of California, Dr. Kim Schreier of Washington, and Dr. Herb Conaway from New Jersey. Amidst all this chaos and uncertainty, the American people are looking to Congress for a path forward to address the ongoing healthcare crisis. That's exactly why the New Dems are releasing our healthcare action plan. Now I'd like to turn it over to our policy vice chair, Nikki Budzinski. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad, and thank you all for being here today. As Vice Chair of Policy, my mission has been to craft a practical, common sense New Dems agenda that speaks directly to the challenges keeping families up at night. Right now, those challenges are all about cost. It's wondering how you're going to afford the electric bill as temperatures drop. It's worrying whether your child will have access to a strong public education. And it's questioning if you'll be able to get affordable, high-quality health care when you need it. In the richest country in the world, these shouldn't be privileges for a select few. They should be accessible and affordable for every person across the country. Now, those sleepless nights worrying about these issues are even more strained as millions of Americans are facing doubling or even tripling healthcare costs. Healthcare is at the center of the cost of living crisis, but the truth is the affordability and accessibility of care has been an issue long before Speaker Johnson and President Trump got their hands on it. It is imperative that we reverse Republican cuts to Medicaid and the ACA. But we also can't just go back to the status quo. We need an agenda that offers a new vision and one that inspires. That's where the New Dems Healthcare Action Plan comes in. Our framework offers a new path, a better one that lives up to our core belief that every American deserves access to quality, affordable health care from providers they trust when and where they need it. It's a comprehensive strategy to address everything from insurance premiums and prescription drug pricing to vaccine misinformation and reproductive freedom. It also focuses on accessibility by strengthening Medicaid and Medicare and closing coverage gaps in rural and underserved communities. As New Dems Vice Chair for Policy, I'm excited to work to advance this agenda in Congress, and I hope that our colleagues across the aisle will join us in these efforts to make health care stronger and fairer for the American people. And with that, I will turn it over to our wonderful New Dem Healthcare Working Group Chair, Terry Sewell, to talk more about the details of this plan. Terry, thanks.
Good morning. I'm Congresswoman Terry Sewell. I proudly represent Alabama's 7th Congressional District. I want to begin by thanking our chairman, Brad Schneider, for his incredible leadership and all of the members of the Healthcare Working Group for their hard work on this action plan. As chair of the Healthcare Working Group, I stand here today with my colleagues to unveil a plan that puts the health and well-being of the American people first. Right now, families across this country are facing uncertainty and rising costs because of a reckless attempt to dismantle the programs that millions rely on. In Alabama's 7th Congressional District, we are seeing the consequences of the Republican health care crisis play out in real time. Premiums are skyrocketing. Rural hospitals are on life support, and thousands are being kicked off of their health care insurance. Today, we, the New Democratic Coalition, say enough is enough. This action plan is simple and straightforward, but it will go a long way in ensuring that our health care system works for every American, not just the privileged few. Our plan is guided by 3 core principles. First, we believe that every American should have access to quality, affordable health care with predictable costs, because no one should have to choose between paying for a prescription and putting food on the table. Second, we believe in strengthening Medicare, Medicaid, and the ACA, because these programs are not partisan luxuries. They are lifelines for so many Americans.
I don't know.
Third, we believe that every American, regardless of their zip code, should have the access to doctors, hospitals, and medicine close to their homes. To achieve that, our plan takes a a series of common sense steps. It would lower costs by locking in the ACA's enhanced premium tax credits and extending out-of-pocket drug caps to Americans with private insurance. It would reverse the devastating cuts to Medicare and Medicaid while cracking down on fraud and abuse. It would close the coverage gap that continues to plague states like Alabama by restoring the Trump administration's $90 million cut to the ACA Navigator program and streamline enrollment. It would also protect women's health care, encourage research and innovation, and strengthen our public health infrastructure. At its core, this action plan is about restoring integrity and security. It is about ensuring that seniors can retire with a peace of mind, that parents can take their children to the doctor without fear of bankruptcy, and that every American, regardless of income or zip code, has access to quality, affordable health care. Health care is not a privilege in this great country of privilege. It is a right, I believe. We are committed to defending that right against those who would undermine it. So today we call on our colleagues across the aisle to join us. Let us put politics aside and put the needs of the American people first. Let's build a healthcare system that reflects the values of fairness, compassion, and responsibility. The new Democratic coalition is proud to lead this fight. Together, we must ensure that our healthcare system works for everyone, not just the wealthy and well-connected, but for every family in every community, and we are resolved to making that happen. With that, I will hand it back over to our chair.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Nikki. I want to thank the entire working group again, and we're happy to take any questions.
And that was the first half of the press conference that took place in Washington on yesterday. The rest of it was question and answers. But quite naturally, I will be following this story very closely because, again, the healthcare issue is complicated. And it sounds like the new Democratic coalition has a working document to negotiate from. So at least they have somewhere to start where they can sit down with their Republican counterparts and negotiate. As scripture says, let us sit down. Dr. King would often reference the statement, let us sit down at the table of brotherhood and reason together. But I know that's too intelligent for some. Well, some of us just like to argue and fuss and fight, and we want to be seen and want to be heard. And we're like James Brown says, talking loud and saying nothing, don't get anything done. But hopefully this group will be able to get something done. Now, I did this particular video off of it's on the selmapostherald.com website, the full press conference. But above, I better go to the top because I want to make sure we're on the same page. If you go to the selmapostherald.com website, the homepage, under the slogan, History in the Making, the ADECA news release about home recovery, Alabama. And, you'll see where it says for immediate release, the link for people, homeowners in Dallas and Watauga counties that have damage from the 2023 tornadoes, the January tornadoes. And if there's still work that needs to be done, there's money available through ADECA. And also right behind that link, you'll see the address for the official intake center, 124 Broad Street, across the street from Queen City Market. And in the third block of Broad Street from the bridge. And then under the ADECA news release, you'll see where it says we're hiring. Mayor Johnny Moss III on his website published a announcement, and it says we're hiring. I blew up I put the we're hiring in bold and made it a little larger just in case, so you don't miss it. And it says the city of Selma is now accepting applications for director of finance. If you or someone you know has strong experience in government finance, budgeting, and leadership, this is a great opportunity to help move Selma forward. And then below that, in the next sentence, apply here. In the colon, in the link. The link is https selma al.gov/job-openings/director-finance. Well, if you hadn't been able to write all of that down, the link saves you all of that trouble. And if you click the link, it will take you straight to the application page for the Director of Finance for the City of Selma. And all of the prerequisites and the job description and what the job requirements are, salary, everything is there on that link. And under the seal, the picture of the seal of Selma, part of it anyway, is the press conference with Congresswoman Terry Sewell. I played a portion of it, but the full press conference is available on selmapostherald.com and is also available on the selmapostherald.com YouTube channel. So you have two ways to be able to view it. Now we're going to shift gears a little bit. Because there's another development that has taken place. Now you hear me talk about a lot of things for those who have followed the show over the years. One of them is financial literacy. One of the issues that I'm always concerned about is financial literacy. And, financial literacy really should start when we're children. But unfortunately, that is usually not the case. Just imagine what would happen if, when we were children, we had some money that could be invested in the stock market, and by the time we got to be 18, you got a couple of $100,000 in the bank. You talk about generational wealth. Well, that's how it's done, and there was an announcement made earlier this week where the founders of Dell have committed, I think it's $6 million plus, maybe more, for this fund that President Trump has created. It's called the Trump account. It's no, I said million, 6.25 billion with a B. They're going to give 250. They're going to do 250 of this $1,000 fund for millions of kids. The only requirement or prerequisite, you have to be under 10, and you can't. The family, it cannot be in an area with a median income over $150,000. So they're targeting this towards everyday working people. But anyway, this is a report from CBS. Let's see what CBS has to say about the announcement made by Michael and Susan Dell. I think it was Monday when they made the announcement, and the press conference was Tuesday.
start a business, start a family, become. And so this Invest America Act that was passed is really a platform for families and friends and companies and philanthropists to contribute to these accounts and build build hope and opportunities and possibilities for the next generation.
So, Susan, take me inside the Dell home when you were both discussing what you wanted to do to help America's children. What kind of ideas were you brainstorming before you landed on this?
Well, when this idea actually came up, we were so excited because Michael and I, for over 26 years, we've been helping children and families living in urban poverty through our foundation. And basically what we do is we try to build pathways for change throughout the world. And we do this through expanding opportunities such as, jobs and livelihoods, education, financial inclusion, and health, in areas across the U.S., India, South Africa, and Israel. And, at any given time, we're supporting programs that are, I would say at least 800 active programs in these regions. Yeah.
Incredible.
So when we heard about this, for us, this was a natural fit because this is, in a very large way, going to reach a lot of children and help them have a start at a really bright future. And this is a dream for us. So we're thrilled to be doing this.
That's so fantastic. So Michael, break it down for us. Who qualifies for this?
Well, every child in America that is 18 and under will have an Invest America account. And so, on July 4th, 2026, their parents will need to go to a government website and claim the account. And of course, under the government's program, newborns born in 2025 and 2026, and also 27, 28, and I think it'll go on beyond that, will get $1,000 contribution from the government in their account. What we're doing with this gift is we're going to provide $250 to 25 million kids that are 10 and under. And all you have to do is go and set up the account. And it's really that simple. For now, you can go to investamerica.org, and it kind of explains the whole program. And look, I mean, when I was a little kid, when I was about 8 years old, I got a passbook savings account.
I know this story so well because it's part of the history of your legendary rise to where you are today.
Well, and I had maybe $8 or $10 in my account. You put a quarter in, and back then they would stamp in your
yeah, it was a little passbook, right?
And you'd see how much money you had, and I was fascinated by compound interest, and I sort of learned about that, and that was a spark in my life that probably led me to this moment, actually. Wow. And so if we can provide that kind of start and hope for so many millions of American children, that just brings us incredible joy, and we're super excited about this. I've spoken with a number of other philanthropists, and we think that we're confident that there'll be other large gifts that get announced.
That is very cool. I think this is so wonderful. I'm so happy that you allowed us to break the news this morning on CBS Mornings. It is such a consequential investment in America's children. Congratulations. It's really very cool. Thank you very much for being here with us this morning. It's good to see you.
Thank you for having us.
And that was the announcement, 6 billion.
I'm national correspondent Kayla Gaskins in
And,
Washington. A historic gift.
That is what it's all about. We talk about that's and the other thing that's noteworthy is this is a capitalist initiative, and so of course capitalism is the driving force behind our economy, and Wall Street and Main Street operate on the financial principle of capitalism. And so these are the kinds of solutions You give a child $1,000 in, I think the requirement is going to be children will have to have a social security number, which is something you need to do for your child anyway. This is a part of the financial literacy piece. And so the $1,000 will grow. Now, I say in theory because, the stock market goes up and down and up and down, but the conventional wisdom, financial wisdom on investments and in the stock market is that you have to be prepared to ride it out and to go through the ups and downs. And at the end of the day, so $1,000 can easily turn into $50,000 or $100,000, over a 10, 15-year period of time, or if not more, depending on the investments that are made. And these $1,000 is going to be given on July 4th of 2026 on the 250th birthday of the United States. These accounts will be established, and it seems to be geared towards low income to moderate income families. So everybody gets a shot. But again, participate in the power of information, not misinformation, but the power of information. And I'm going to be on top of this to make sure I share the information with you, so that if you have children under 10, that we make sure we find a way to get them in this program. Or at least you'll have the information. This is what it's all about for me, helping people be. Just one thing to say, pick yourself up by your own bootstraps. It's another thing to do is to help someone become self-sufficient. Do you give a man a fish, or do you teach him how to fish? I prefer to teach a person how to fish. Viewpoint, you're on the air.
Yes. Are they going to train the children how to spend their money? You can't go out and just below $50,000.
You hit it right on the head. That's all a part of this. That's what I'm. And so that means that the schools and the families and churches, we need to be teaching our children about financial literacy and how to spend money. What's going to happen with these athletes, high school athletes now, with these new laws with image and likeness? They're going to be making, some of them, millions of dollars before they even turn 21. Do they know how to spend the money?
Somebody's going to have to teach them.
I'm with you 100%.
You're below the money. I mean, it's all well and good to give somebody something, but they don't know how to spend it or how to deal with it. You're still lost. Financial
literacy. Yes, ma'am. You're 100% right. And that's the challenge. This is the challenge for this next generation and the next phase of American democracy. Teaching people how to be responsible and how to responsibly spend money and the budget and what to do and how to make investments and even how to handle a loss.
Yeah, and you don't really need that much. People, I know they always say, oh, there's not enough to go around. Oh, there's not enough to go around. What are we going to do? It's always plenty. Just stop being small-minded. There's enough here for everybody. Don't be so selfish.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Yep. Well, we'll keep working on it and keep nudging people. You can look. I hate to use an animal as an analogy, but to say you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. So we have to keep encouraging people and to get them to understand the importance of learning and the importance of learning financial responsibility. Just knowing how important it is to have good credit. The earlier you really learn that and it sinks in, the better off you are as an adult.
True, all that's true. But like I said, we have to start some classes or figure out a way to inform the public.
No doubt.
You can tell them and they still resist what you say?
Well, yeah, I know. I know. I deal with it on a regular basis, unfortunately, but when I've come to the conclusion, all I can do, the Lord just says, put it out there and let them decide.
Tell them what he is, let him hear.
Yes, ma'am. Yep. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I'm so glad, that she made those comments. I didn't say it. She said it. And your truth crushed to earth will rise again. And the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice.
We're with Barry Parker and our friends at Reliable Chevrolet and GMC. 80 years, Barry.
That's right, George. We've been right here at the same location at 14th Lawrence Street. Also the same family, the Portage family. Bill is here and has his two sons, John and Will. And soon they'll be taking over, so there'll be a third generation that has had the ownership of Reliable Chevrolet GMC.
Now let's talk about what's going on with Chevrolet and GMC. We're coming up on the end of the year. Big time discounts on these 25s that you got left.
That's right, George. We're moving them out right and left. If you're in the market for a 2025 model, let me encourage you to come down, get them while they're still available, because the 26s are here and we've got more coming. So we got to make room. Whatever your transportation needs are, we can take care of them right here. And let us get you fixed up so you can be riding today.
Not forget about the pre-owned side and service.
That's right. We've got all kind of makes and models on the pre-owned inventory, from cars to trucks to SUV. And when it comes to getting your vehicle serviced, we have the top service department in Central Alabama right here at Reliable Chevrolet GMC.
And is that fifth oil change still free?
Always free. Not just your first fifth, every fifth oil change. Regardless of how many vehicles you have in the family, each one stands on its own.
To get in touch with Reliable Chevrolet and GMC, what do we do?
872-2337, or check us out on our website at reliablegmc.com, or best, just come visit us right here at 14th Lawrence Street in downtown Selma.
At Reliable, where they truly have it all. How's your circulation? Do you suffer from fatigue, leg cramps, weakness, or pain in your legs when walking? Do you often have to stop and rest before you can continue? If so, you could be suffering from PAD, peripheral artery disease, blockages in your circulatory system. It may be time for you or your doctor to get in touch with Alabama Vascular Specialists. AVS is growing and serving our area with the most advanced vascular surgery and treatment available today. Dr. Ralph Redd, Dr. Irwin White-Giddens, and Dr. Richard Tan are changing lives for the better when it comes to the vascular health of their patients. Other factors include high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, smoking, and high cholesterol, all big contributors to poor circulation and vascular problems. Not to mention family history. AVS can help put you on the road to recovery. Offices in Montgomery and Selma. Call 334-801-9952 and online at alabamavascularspecialist.com.
1490 WHBB. Want to invite you to tune in on Sunday mornings and Sundays period, but we've got a strong Sunday morning on WHBB at 9 o'clock. From 9 until 9:30, it is the Garden of Eden Tree of Life Ministries radio Bible study from Pastor A.W. Watson and First Lady Patricia Watson. They have done a wonderful job with what was the Salvation Army on Highland Avenue across from Selma High, 2104 Franklin Street. And their Sunday worship service starts at 12:30 on Sunday, and they have a Tuesday Bible study from 12 until 1, featuring refreshments and snacks. But they do a wonderful presentation and a wonderful Bible study. But if you tune in around 7:30, you'll hear Mamie Solomon as she hosts the Randall Miller Funeral Home and Crematory segment. And then at 7:45 until 8, Reverend Jimmy Coleman comes in, and he has a wonderful Sunday morning Bible class as well. Then at 8 o'clock, it is Reverend David Petway from 8 until 8:15. At 8:15, he joins up with the Silver Echoes and Deacon Nelson Waters from 8:15 until 9. By the way, the ministry that Reverend Coleman does at 7:45 is sponsored by Minister Robert Simmons. And then from 9:30 until 11, I'm back and I do gospel on Sunday mornings. 11 o'clock on New Covenant Presbyterian Church, another excellent church service until 12. And then from 12 noon until 12 midnight, nothing but good gospel music. At 6 o'clock, though, 6 p.m., Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church. They have a wonderful service. So Sundays on WHBB, we certainly hope you're enjoying. I get a lot of positive feedback, and so we are working to help with your spiritual entertainment. Yep. A couple of things also coming up. Don't want you to forget about Councilwoman Jenny Thomas's toy drive. She's going to do the giveaway on December the 19th from 1 until 3 at the George Evans and Jeannie Evans building, 2 Lawrence Street. If you want to make a contribution, donation, give her a call at 205-928-9758. Also, we know we got the Men of Christmas Parade coming up. That's a big deal. If you haven't, you owe yourself at least one time to go to the Men of Christmas Parade. It is nothing like it. I kid you not. It is really a lot of fun. And so the first time I went, it just blew my mind. And it was just good, clean fun, family entertainment, good food. They had a lot of nice food vendors and classic cars and all kinds of exhibits and floats. So, we want you to remember to participate with them on Saturday the 13th. I think lineup is at 9. The parade starts at 10 o'clock. This Saturday, Thomasville, Alabama, they're stepping out. They're having their Christmas parade and downtown stroll from 11 until 2. And the parade starts at 10. The stroll is from 11 until 2. And that's going to be a lot of fun in downtown Thomasville. I will give you more information about some other things on tomorrow. Stay tuned for Fox News. It's 9 o'clock.
Who is yet? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. But after an almost 5-year manhunt and arrest this morning in an attempted bombing in Washington, D.C. the night before the infamous Capitol riots.
We don't know the suspect's name or anything about this person other than the fact this is a male that was living in Northern Virginia.
Fox's David Spunt.
It happened January 5th, 2021. A mysterious person covered from head to toe placed pipe bombs outside both the Democratic National Committee and Republican National Committee here in our nation's capital.
Those bombs were found the next day and never exploded. A short time ago inside the Capitol, a new congressman this morning.
I come to this distinguished body as a Christian, a husband, and a father.
Matt Van Epps won a special election for a vacant House seat Tuesday.
The people of Tennessee didn't send me here to just give a speech. They sent me here to deliver. And that is exactly